Welcome to PaleriderTV. Yeah, three red flags to look out for brokers scamming drivers. It's ridiculous. It's gotten out of hand. Been going on for a long time. So I got this article we're going to go over. Three red flags to look out for scheming brokers. There's a lot in the news lately, trucking news anyway, about brokerage scams and all kinds of stuff. So let's check out the article and see what the red flags are that you should look out for when dealing with a broker. Now, when I was driving, I never had to deal with brokerage firsthand. We used to do some broker loads, but they were always went through dispatch first, so I never really talked to the brokers. So we go three red flags that could signal a double brokerage scheme. Now, this is from transportdive.com, and it involves OOIDA and another organization we'll get to in a minute. Say Tom Crowley and his colleagues receive about 10 to 15 calls a week from unfortunate truck drivers with similar stories. The drivers tell the OOIDA compliance team about hauling a load, some cross country, a week of their time at their own expense, only for the broker who hired them to disappear. When the driver brings the bill to the legitimate broker, they often aren't aware the shipment was rebrokered. The double brokering scam is so prolific, said Crowley, a regulatory specialist. It's everywhere, he says. OIDA and the Transportation Intermediaries Association, man, all these big words. I'm stumbling here, which represents freight brokers, disagree on plenty, but they share a common cause in eliminating fraud, which can hurt each group's members financially. During interviews with Transport Dive, OOIDA and TIA officials shared some double broking red flags to watch out for. Red flag number one: the company's name is not on the bill of lading. By federal law, the name of the carrier hauling your load must be listed on the bill of lading. That's one of the ways that, when we talk to folks, they realize they may have been scammed. But the federal government hasn't enforced the requirement, which has resulted in many in the industry ignoring it. Some carriers tell OIDA they've previously been paid for loads in similar cases without their name on the bills. I tell them, "Well, why'd you haul this load if your name wasn't on the bill of lading?" Crowley said. They say, "Well, it's pretty normal for our name not to be on a bill of lading. It's the broker's name or some carrier that they've never heard of. Most small carriers out there are not real fluent with exactly what the rules are." So that was red flag number one. Red flag number two: a broker offers a suspiciously high rate. Fraudulent brokers often first register as carriers. They accept loads from digital load boards, then repost the loads as brokers, offering more money to tempt carriers to haul them. When it's time to pay the driver, the business address has been changed to an untraceable P.O. box, and the phone number is disconnected. Wow. The ones that are really hurting people are the ones that don't pay out at all, Crowley said. They'll just take all the money and disappear. Reminds me of a song from the 70s, but we won't get into that right now. Then the driver typically brings the unpaid invoice to the legitimate broker who first posted the load, according to TIA President and CEO Ann Rinke. They're saying, "Where's my money?" And our members like, "Who are you?" No idea, because they've lost the chain of custody. That is some crazy stuff. Man, up to digital load board, get the load, and repost the load as brokers are from it. Man, that's some, wow, that's crazy. Red flag number three: The broker's information doesn't check out in an FMCSA search. Drivers should always look up a broker on the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration's website before accepting a load. If the broker isn't registered or has incomplete information, it might be wise to think twice. But even that strategy isn't fail-proof, as those committing brokerage fraud have been known to spoof legitimate companies' information. The problem has only worsened as carriers become increasingly desperate in a soft rate market. There are a lot of carriers chasing lower volumes of freight, and that's when these kinds of illegal and fraudulent scams occur. Crowley acknowledged even those participating or those practicing due diligence could find themselves caught in such schemes, as bad actors are also able to update and remove their information from the Federal Registry. You can do a lot of this stuff and still find yourself scammed, Crowley said. Vet your broker. Do your research. Check them out. And be sure they're legitimate. That's from transportdive.com. Go check out the article if you want to. So that's some crazy stuff. Like I said, don't know a whole lot about brokers. But from some of my friends that are also in the trucking industry that do deal with brokers on a daily basis, I talk to them quite often and try to keep up the best I can with what's going on out there. So that's that article. Be sure you be careful with the brokers. Make sure they're vetted and legitimate and all that good stuff. So I appreciate everybody watching. Everybody have a good day and stay safe.